It's okay to have friends over, but it's important to only have them over if your parents are okay. If they can come over, especially when your parents aren't home, because even though you have friends and you're like a teenager and stuff, it's still important to follow your parents' rules no matter what you do. Keep that in mind, because we should all be respectful of the rules when our parents aren't home. And sometimes we can forget these rules, or we don't know these are rules until we accidentally break them at first, which is okay, but make sure you know the rules before you let your friends in the house. Hi everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes, and I'm sorry I sound kind of bad right now. I'm sick. I'm recovering from having a cold, and I still have a little bit of it left, so that's why I sound really bad right now. I feel kind of bad, but honestly, it's really good to be back on YouTube. For those who don't know where I've been taking a break from YouTube, focusing on my life and everything I needed to do and focusing on things that are important. So it was really nice to take a break, and I'm also very happy to be back on YouTube because I have missed you guys, and I'm very excited to be back and make YouTube videos. So anyway, today's story that I have for you guys today is going to be the time I accidentally let my friend in the house when my parents weren't home. So this was the mistake I made because I didn't know I was supposed to ask my mom first, and at the time I literally forgot the rules. I mean, my mom did have rules of not answering the door when we weren't home, but I did forget this rule. It's just only because I didn't know it wasn't okay, and luckily I did learn my lesson, and my friend was pretty flexible when I had to make him leave the house. So this is a story just to teach you guys that when you're home alone, it's probably not a good idea to have your friends over without asking your parents first, or letting your friends in the house when your parents aren't home without asking, because that shows you didn't think. And sometimes we do things without thinking, but always important to ask your parents if it's okay to have friends over when they're not home before you let your friends in the house. So please think about that and always follow your parents' rules for when they're not home. So I'm going to get started, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. So this all started about 19 years ago. I was walking home from school with my two friends, a guy and a girl. And my friend, I apologize, that was my tablet. Anyway, my friend wanted to come inside the house. One of my friends wanted to come inside the house because one friend I was having hang out with me after school because her mom was going to be picking her up from my house when she was finished with work. And the other friend, he just lived about a block away, 2 blocks away, and he kind of wanted to come inside and see the house. And I told him, sure, you can come inside. I don't know why I didn't think to ask my mom if it was okay, but I didn't realize my stepdad wasn't home at the time, wasn't home. I assumed he was probably working and stuff because he was a realtor at the time. And so I went inside with my friend, and then one of the rules I had to follow was to call my mom right when I got home. So I called my mom, and she asked how my day at school was, and I told her I'm here with my two friends, and she asked which two friends, and then I said my friend whose mom was picking her up, and I told her my other friend that I walked home with, and my mom's told me that he needed to leave because I didn't ask her if it was okay for him to come in the house, and she was not too happy about that. So she was pretty irritated with me when I had let my friend in the house, and I felt kind of bad. So she told me that my friend needed to leave the house, and I felt a little bad. And I felt kind of bad that I didn't know that rule, and I didn't think, and this was my fault because I accidentally told my friend he could come in the house. So After I get off the phone with my mom, I tell my friend nicely, I'm sorry, my mom needs you to leave. She's not too happy that I let you in the house without asking and blah, 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 blah. And my friend was totally fine and understandable. So he gets ready to leave, and he leaves the house. But then I think he went back, like straight back home. But then he comes back to the house again, knocks on the door, and then he gives me a little present that he didn't want. It was like a husky dog he had gotten at a fair. It was a stuffed husky dog, and I said, oh, thank you. You didn't have to give me something. And then my friend was really nice, and he apologized to me for accidentally talking me into letting him in the house, even though my mom was not okay with it. And I said, that is totally fine. It was my fault because I told you could come in the house and blah, 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 blah. So we were both totally understandable about it. And so after he drops it off that little gift, he leaves. And I call my mom and I apologize to her for letting my friend in the house when she wasn't home, and she was totally fine. And she said, that's okay. Next time before you let someone in the house, make sure someone is home, or ask me first if it's okay if your friend could come in the house, and blah, 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 blah. And I started to follow those rules. And next time my friend needed to come in the house to use a phone because he didn't have a cell phone, my stepdad at the time was home, and he was nice enough to let my friend in the house. And we never let anybody in the house unless we had permission from our parents again. So the moral of the story is, when your parents have rules of not letting your friends in the house when they're not home, always make sure you ask your parents if it's okay first before you let the friends in the house without asking them, because you can get in a lot of trouble for it. Because what if your friend breaks something that's expensive? What if your friend decides to make a mess in the house? What if your friend decides to do this? What if your friend decides to do that? Like anything bad. So please, please, please be respectful of rules that your parents have, especially when they're not home. If they don't feel comfortable with you having friends in the house when they're not home, please respect that. And always just follow the rules that parents have when they're not home. Like, don't use a stove, don't use this, don't do anything that they require you not to do when they're not home. Please, please always respect your parents' rules no matter what, especially when you're having friends over when they're not home, or don't have friends over if they don't allow friends over when they're not home. So that was a story about how I accidentally let my friend in the house when my parents weren't home. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoons sometimes. And I'll see you in another video soon. Bye. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe.